Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Bug Watch. I am your boy Swissley, and yeah, I wanted to put out a really quick couple of hot takes on the old balanced data slate. It is a very rushed one today, so we're just going to get through it, get to the key points and move on. I've got a grumbly dog behind me, so I apologize if he barks through the entirety of today's proceedings. But yes, so let's get on with the show. Of course, like and subscribe before I forget. Also, just want to give a quick couple of plugs. So, Coventry GT, I'm at, not this weekend, the weekend after. Just a quick plug to say, come and say hello. If you have seen the show, you're a fan of the show, I would love to speak to you and say hello. If you're not a fan of the show and you're watching this, come and tell me why I'm rubbish, because I always love growing and learning more about the community. What else we got? Then I'm at an RTT, East Midlands Slam RTT in Irchester on the 2nd of November. Really great RTT. They make you sausage sandwiches, which is pretty cool. Let me know if you want to go to that one. And then actually my event, which is the Outriders RTT in Milton Keynes, that's on the 9th of November. Let me know if you want any more information about that. But that is a really cool RTT with good price support. And yeah, we try our best to run a good ship. Cool, nice. Let's get on with it. Boom. Tyranid Dataslate. Let's talk about it. But first of all, let's talk about, broadly speaking. Now, guys, I am not totally au fait with all these changes in terms of, like, I've not played that many games, I've not tested things out, I've not spoken to everyone I know and their dog about it. So this is just my takes and some of the team's takes, generally speaking. So what I've done is I've tried to give an idea of who's like on the rise and who's on the decline. And let me go big screen. There you go. Have a bit of that. So who's on the rise and who's on the decline? So for my money, these are my opinions. Orcs, Tau, and GCs all saw the biggest, I suppose, opportunities with some of their points changes. A really interesting one. Orcs obviously take a lot of units, a lot of bodies. Tau got loads of buffs on their Crute, and GSC are just loads of bodies to start with. Are we about to enter a Xenos Horde meta? Maybe. I don't know. If we do, we've got some really good tools to play against that, so that's not a terrible thing for us. Other ones, and we had good win rate against all of those, so not bad at all. The numbers you see, and by the way, the percentages next to the names, that's their win rate against us. Okay, so Orcs had a 33%, Tau had a 47%, GSC had a 38%. Knights and Chaos Knights also saw some buffs. I don't know how impactful they are. I don't play Knights. But one of the things we should be concerned about is Knights actually had the highest win rate against us at 67%. It's all those Vanguard Onslaught players holding us back, baby. I can't kill the Knight. It's too big. Yeah. They had a 67% win rate and they have only got buffs. So get your Rupture Cannons out, guys. Locked and loaded. Chaos Knights also saw some buffs and they're at 51% win rate. So yeah, ones to watch out for. And then ones that maybe are better. And of course, I know people have their opinions and stuff, but these are just things I am yet to see. Eldari seem to have got a little bit better. Guard, I know there's that new unit that people are talking about, seem to have had a downside and upside. I think the biggest thing with Guard was getting through that brick wall of what they call Bullgrin. Now that's gone. Are they going to be as brick wally? I don't know. We'll find out. CSM, who I think we have a pretty difficult matchup into because their shooting is very, very powerful. They have got a little bit better in certain places. And then Grey Knights as well. You know, sometimes we do struggle to get through that 2-up armor. It's a bit of a mix-up of a game, that one. And they've got a little bit better, especially on the stuff like the Paladins and what have you, which we'll probably find it most difficult to chew through. So yeah, so they're the ones that have done okay. I think the top line is, broadly speaking, all the factions that have got better, we have an okay win rate into. Or their new look, we probably might have an okay game into. So I think that's broadly positive. In terms of the ones that got worse, Black Templars and Space Wolves got a little bit worse, I think, given their points changes, but still threats in different ways, etc. So Black Templars, they had a 46% win rate into us. Space Wolves had a 57. So that 57 coming down, hopefully, with the lack of Wolfie boys, might help us out. Sisters had a 61% win rate into us. And I think one of their builds has taken a big hit in Bringers of Flame. I still think there's going to be some really interesting stuff to come out of that book. If you can manipulate dice like they can, you've got a chance in any game, right? So I'm fairly certain that that's going to be still a tricky matchup for us. Necrons also going down. We actually had a decent win rate into Necrons, so for them to go down, that's quite nice. And then T-Suns, which are obviously the bane of everyone's existence, even though they only had a 56% win rate, so it's not the highest, right? That's going to be interesting to see how the changes affect them. They're like the new Eldari, right? You keep like nerfing them, and they still keep coming back. They are the cockroach of the meta, so to speak. And then Drakari just got really punched in the face, man. I've got a friend who was really excited. He's a Drakari main, and he was taking his Drakari list. He's been practicing with it and ready to take it to Coventry next week. And now his list is 130 points more than it was before. That's rough. That is real rough. And he didn't have a good win rate into us either. So, see them go down. I don't think that'll matter, guys, because I'm not sure you're going to see that many people playing it. You didn't see that many people playing it when they were good. So what's it going to be when they're bad? All right, so that's my kind of, again, top-line takes. Would love to hear your takes and create the hive mind so we all know what's coming in the meta. I'll listen to any opinion. And if you'd like to share an opinion outside of YouTube comments, you can come and join our Discord and tell me what you think there. The link is in the below. Cool. So, broadly speaking, again, we're going to do this quick, guys, because we've got stuff to do. Nice. Okay. So, Lictors. Up 5 points to 60 points. Fine, no problem. Still amazing value for what they do. The most impactful thing about this change is now you have to fiddle around with your list on the app and try and like squeeze out 5 points somewhere. Still take them. I'll still take probably at least 2. And I think some lists will take 3. So still really good. There's nothing much to add here. It's 5 points up. Yeah, it's probably right. Fine. So that is Lictors. Done. We're flying through it, guys. We're going. The old One Eye and Fexes. I think this is a really cool change. So if you don't know what happened, Carnifexes went down 10 points, and Old One Eye went up 10 points. That nets you out on the combo of minus 10 points. This combo is one of the best things in Tyranids. It's what opponents go, if you say what scares you about AAA and Tyranids, oh, it's the Exocrines, the Tyrannofex, and it's All One Eye and his buddies. Like, cool. Yeah, I'll take that. I think one of the things, again, it's 10 points. It's not changing the world, right? But it does make Invasion Fleet that little bit better, because this combo is really good in Invasion Fleet. It's kind of okay everywhere else, but it's good in Invasion Fleet. And I think it just makes it better. So let's talk about the interesting thing about this change. Carnifexes, right? It's 230 points for 2 Carnifexes. Now, let's quickly look at that data sheet. 2 up armor, toughness, 9, I think. 8 wounds. Like, they're good, right? They're good, they're durable. They've got an amazing rule in the Surge. Even if you can only do it once, it's D6 plus 2. Like, your opponent has to be 8.1 inches away to completely ignore this. That, and if you've ever played All One Eye's unit with the 2 Carnifexes, your opponent spends like half an hour trying to figure out how they deal with this absolute nightmare of a unit. So, and then of course the range of stuff you can put on them. Like, you've seen people put heavy venom cannons on them. You've seen people put the Death Spitters on, which are probably the best shooting option for my money. The melee options, like, okay, right? It's not the ideal, but they're not bad, right? 6, if you go with Scything Talons, it's 8 attacks at damage 3, minus 2, strength, I think it was 7 or 8, like, with Synapse. Like, that's good. It's good. The one problem of that unit is they hit on 4s. Like, the only thing that's bad about it. If they hit on 3s, I think you would see these in play, right? They are good, except they hit on 4s. 230 points for 2 of them is bad value, right? For the same value, you could get a Maleceptor and a Lictor. You could get a Tyrannofex and a Pyrovore. You could get an Exocrine and a Psychophage. It's still, is that right? Yeah. Like, you could just get better stuff. Where I think this is interesting, and come to one of the RTTs that I'm going to, and you will be able to see me play this, because I'm definitely going to do it, is in Crusher Stampede. Because why is all one eye good with these guys? Because it gives them full rerolls to hit in shooting and melee. In Crusher, it's the only access we have to a strat that does reroll to hit, and it's only in melee. However, just bear with me a second, right? You've got 6 of these bad boys rolling up the battlefield with 2 Tyranid and 3 Exocrines behind them. They're OC 5, right, each, until one of them dies. Like, I think the balancing team at GW have been secretly trying to get us to take these Carnifexes for a while, and we still won't do it. I think it could be okay, right? It's fine. I think with the strat, because you can only use it on 1 unit, you're going to have to really consider how you engage in combat. But like, a lot of opponents are going to really struggle to deal with 3 units that surge D6 plus 2, have the potential to reroll hits with what is essentially, 16 Scythe and Talon attacks. You can put some claws in there as well for a bit of flexibility. So it's like 10 Scythe and Talon attacks and 4 claw attacks. Like, it's not terrible. I think it's going to be fun. I'm not sure it's going to be good. I don't think it's going to be good. But I think it will it will put the terror in your opponent when they see these guys coming up the field. Yeah, we'll give it a go on RTT, and I'll tell you how it goes. All right. So overall, I'm a fan of this. It's good. It's giving people food for thought potentially, which I think is the point of any balanced data slate, and it brings down the combo 10 points. So it's good for us competitively. It's bad for people like me that don't want to really play Invasion Fleet. We want to play the other cool things, but yeah, it's dragged me onto Invasion Fleet. So there you go. Right, let's go. Winged Hive Tyrant. Lovely to see. You might know that I am a fan of this model. Not in 10th edition though, unfortunately. It's just not really that good, you know. I think it can be good, but I think it needs to be on GW terrain. Generally speaking, I don't think it likes the world on UKTC, and I don't think it likes the world on WTC either. So broadly speaking, it's great, and I think you're going to continue to see them in the good old United States of America. All right, that is the Winged Hive Tyrant. If you don't know, it went down 10 points to 200 points. Still can have a Tyranifex instead of 1 and have 10 points spare. Yeah. Cool. Pyrovore. Right, let me describe the Pyrovore change. For 1, it's gone up 5 points. For 2, it's the same, right? And for 3, the same as well. Has anyone ever cut you up in traffic before and you've been like, dickhead, what a knob? Have you ever been to a drive-through, like a McDonald's or a Burger King drive-through, and someone else accelerated to get in there before you, so you have to wait to order? That's how I feel about this change. It's going to really annoy some people who were bang on 2,000 points and had one of these in the list. I don't tend to take them that much. I do think about it, and I do, like, it is pretty cool, but it's like a cuttable expense. And yeah, I think it still is. Yeah, I mean, some of you assimilation stands out there who take one of, like, I can imagine like life in a simulation swarm. People are throwing things in the air, rioting, setting fire to corner shops. But yeah, not for me. I think this is an inconvenience, and somewhat probably unwarranted inconvenience. But by the by, it is what it is. Cool. Von Ryan's Leapers. So they went from 75 points down to 70 points. Now, this is, I think, a bit of a nuanced opinion. I think about this and I go, I still don't want them. I know they're pretty good value, but I'm still very rarely taking them. And I thought, there's probably a world where I do take them, but when is that world? And this is where I've come to, right? They compete with Genestealers, Warriors, and even Lictors, right? Because of what they kind of do. They're 3 wounds, they're melee threats, they are fast, so they compete with Raveners as well. The Infiltrates, they compete with Lictors. And I think all those other options do a job better than these guys who are kind of like a jack of all trade. They're the same points as Venom Throps, and I think that's really insightful actually, because for me, there are some units that are just always good. Tyranifexes, Exocrines, Hive Tyrants, Genestealers, maybe, things like that, right? Some units that will go in any list, almost. And then there are some units that are really good in a specific, to counter a specific meta threat. Barb Gaunts, great example. You saw them come out of the woodwork when Orc Hordes were very good. Venom Thropes are really good. They come out of the woodwork when Swarms are very good. Morlocks come out of the woodwork when like Eldari and one wound infantries are knocking about, or elves generally. They all fall into that. I think Von Ryan's Leapers sit in that specific meta threat, swimming in a pool of keyword soup. They've got heroics, so you can bring them in from reserves and heroic them into something that's about to get on a rapid ingress, and then use the heroic into something your opponent wanted to charge that can be killed by AP 1, right? 1 damage. If the swarms, they're really good. If your opponent has infiltrators, they're very good. But I think there's just specific meta threats that these guys are very good at, and it's about waiting for that to come around in my eyes. So yeah. Overall, I think this is a good change because I definitely probably, like, there's very rarely an occasion I would take him. Now it's like, ooh, could this be the meta for them? So I think it's a new exciting world for them. There's just, yeah, they're just not as good as other stuff, right? Cool. Next thing, right, so detachments, which one's got better? I don't think any of the detachments got wildly better with any of these changes. I think Invasion Fleet did get better because of that, or one eye thing, but again, it's marginal. I think Vanguard Onslaught has got like what 20 points more or something like in their lists. Crusher Stampede, yeah, okay. Now I get to play with Carnifexes. Maybe that is viable, but probably not. Then you get Synaptic Nexus, who are like, I guess the Winged Hive Tyrant's cool sometimes, maybe. And then you've got Assimilation Swarm, who are like, I have to pay 5 points for my Pyrovore. This is an outrage. So yeah, I think broadly speaking, some things happened, and that definitely means some things, but not a great deal, guys. What do you think? Am I completely wrong? Is this changing? Oh yeah, and let's pour one out, by the way. Pour one out for an Ending Swarm, who, due to the changes to Surge, are now even worse than they were before. An Invasion Fleet picking up the mantle with Sam Pope's wonderful list of 80 or 90 gaunts, I think it was, that he won Battle for Salvation with, which I have kindly ripped off and UKT seatified a little bit ahead of next week's Coventry GT. So, yeah, cool. Pour one out for them. But have I got all this wrong? Am I a lunatic? Is there some mad, crazy combo I'm missing? Please let me know in the comments. I would love to know. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this show. I will catch you next time. Goodbye for now.